welcome to today's video, and in this video I'm going to be showing you my whole fossil collection. So I've got quite a few fossils that I've collected, and I'm going to show you all of them today. So I'm going to start with my newest fossil, which is a sand dollar. This is a French sand dollar, and sand dollars are related to starfishes, and they don't have any bones, and they're actually still alive today, and they're found on beaches all around the place. So they're very similar to a starfish, except more round, and have a cool little flower pattern on the center. This is from about 20 to 40 million years ago. These two I actually found myself. So these are some sort of worm fossils. Since I found them myself both of them on a beach. This one's from Greece actually, and I'm going to be going back to Greece soon. But these are two worm fossils, but I'm not very good at identifying them, but from what I can tell, they're a sort of tube worm, and they're pretty cool. This one, you can really see the worms really good on it. This is a part of a horse. So this is part of the foot, somewhere at the foot. I'd imagine maybe like the ankle or something, because it kind of looks like it would be a joint of some sort. And this is probably from about, it's definitely a wide range of time, but I'd say, I'm not really up to date on horses' history, but I'd say maybe 40,000 or 20,000 years old, I think, roughly. These are theropod eggshells. These are the eggshells from dinosaurs, and these are from China, and they're from 65 to 72 million years ago, and specifically theropod eggshells. So a theropod is like the two-legged dinosaurs, so like T-Rex, Therizinosaurus, Gallimimus, and Allosaurus, all the two-legged ones with the long tail. So this is my Dominican amber, and you might recognize it from Jurassic Park. And basically amber is tree sap that's hardened and fossilized. So this is very old tree sap, essentially, is what I'm holding. So how amber is made, it's not just tree sap. Amber is specifically when tree sap rolls over or flows over some animal, like an insect, even a bird or a lizard, and it's just like, say, a little mosquito like in Jurassic Park. It lands on a tree and the sap kind of swallows it, and it gets trapped in the amber or sap, and then it falls off, fossilizes, and hardens and turns into amber. So this is a Spinosaurus tooth. The Spinosaurus is the longest carnivorous dinosaur known, and they're from places in Africa such as Morocco and Egypt. And they're called Spinosaurus because they had a big long fin or sail on their back. And it's lots of controversy about how they looked, because some people think they were aquatic, some people think they walk on four legs, some people think it looks like, there's loads of crazy depictions, but fun fact is that the original fossil that was in, I think maybe Germany, and it got blown up in World War II, so that's why lots of depictions up until around roughly 2010 were very inaccurate, such as the Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus. But then around 2010, they found more fossils that suggested it had shorter legs and a tail a bit like a newt or a tadpole. Here's one of my favorite fossils I have of an ammonite. So ammonites are pretty much like a squid or an octopus, except they lived in a shell. And millions of years ago, a little octopus or squid head would have been poking out here. And some people believe that they may have had bioluminescence, which means that they glow from special bacteria in their skin. And this was proposed by Prehistoric Planet, which is probably the best dinosaur documentary and narrated by of course, brilliant David Attenborough. So here's a plesiosaurus tooth. This is from Morocco, and you can really see the tooth very well. It's very well preserved. And so plesiosaurs weren't dinosaurs, but they were in the same kind of era as dinosaurs. So they're a marine reptile that lived in the ocean, and they had a super long neck. I'll probably put a picture right here. So they're really cool. They probably ate fish and ammonites, and we think that they may have given birth live babies. So rather than laying eggs, they actually probably gave birth to live, ready to swim babies. So here is one of the coolest fossils I have. It's a trilobite. So trilobites are really interesting, and these are so old. They were around before the dinosaurs. So we're talking about like 300, 500 million years ago, which is insane to think that there's things around 500 million years ago. So these are really unique because two things. They're really like kind of revolutionary in Earth's history, and pretty much everything, if it wasn't for trilobites, we wouldn't be here, your dog wouldn't be here, fish, nothing would be here really, because they're some of the first animals to develop complex, proper eyes. So their eyes are kind of like insect eyes with loads of hexagons. And they're also one of the first animals to develop a hard outer exoskeleton that could protect them from predators. Here's my other trilobite. Actually, I have two of them. This one is probably the one I prefer because there's so many different variants of trilobites. This one, it has a rounded nose. As you can see, the nose is like round and bulbous, but this one is more flatter with, it's more flat, a bit like a woodlouse. And there is loads of different types. Some had horns or big protrusions. They're crazy. They're probably one of the most successful animals to ever live. And here is my last fossil I'm going to show you today. This is the fossil of a Knightia fish. And this is probably my best preserved fossil I have. It is, of course, as you can see, a fish, and Knightia fish are thought to be the bases, kind of relatives, distant relatives of things like sardines, herring, those small schooling fish. This is a freshwater fish. It's from Fossil Lake in Wyoming, and the unique chemistry of this region and lake has led to very, very accurate fossils. So we can see the rays on the fins, we can see the bones are perfectly preserved. I can see the mouth, the eyes, everything's there. You can really get a good picture of what this animal looks like in real life. So that's it for my fossil collection. I'll see you next time, and I'll do one of these each year or every 6 months in case I ever get new fossils. Like and subscribe as always. Goodbye.